Hey, what's up? It's Tiffany. Before we get started on this week's episode, please be sure to send us your requests at booshakalakapodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter X, Booshakalakapod. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram at Booshakalakapodcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Booshakalaka Podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany, joined by my co-host, Pierre.
Eat me, Sebastian. It's okay for you in court to fuck everyone, but when I do it, I get dumped for innocent little twits like Cecile. Do you think I relish the fact that I have to act like Mary Sunshine 24/7 just to be considered a lady? I'm the Marcia fucking Brady of the Upper East Side, and sometimes I want to kill myself. So there's your psychoanalysis, Dr. Freud. Now tell
Gossip
me,
Girl.
are you in or are you out?
Gossip Girl.
Cruel Intentions. Wow.
Oh, I've never seen that.
What? I wash my hands of you. There's
no black people on the cover.
Stop. There's a black person in the movie. Sean
just one?
Patrick. Yes, he's Sean Patrick Thomas.
He might be black like this, but he ain't black over here.
Go to hell.
Well, we are back for 1997's I Know What You Did Last Summer review. The synopsis goes about like this. 4 young friends bound by a tragic accident are reunited when they find themselves being stalked by a hook-wielding maniac in their small seaside town. That was a good one.
That was good. Maybe they're getting... Well, no, because it was still the 90s. That was good. So I don't know. I feel like I'm the super fan of this movie. I feel like Tiffany's gonna shit on it.
Definitely,
so we're gonna add some balance.
Super fan of this movie. There are more dislikes than likes of this movie. I will say I was of age when this came to the theaters. I went to the movie theaters to see this, and then when it was over, I had friends saying, "Huh? Who did it?" So we had to like kind of explain. I had to say like, I killed you and you killed me and da da da. And they're like, oh, okay.
Wow. And it was very short. I thought it was easy to follow.
I thought it was long as hell. That just, that just goes to show you.
I'm gonna give y'all the facts because I deal in facts. Tiffany will poke holes in the writing. We start the movie off. We're in North Carolina in some seaside town.
North Carolina, come on and raise up.
Maybe I just don't know geography because the fact that a lot of these things are set in North Carolina, I'm like, I did not think that's what it looked like. But okay, I would have thought this was Maine. But
no, I think that this movie was filmed in California.
Okay,
it really gave me a lot of California vibes.
I was like, North Carolina, okay, but anyway, so we start off with it's a very good start off. I'll say, it's dark, dreary, kind of brings you in, and we see this guy. He's on the cliff drinking. He's fiddling with his little fidget spinner.
It does look like a fidget spinner.
And then you see fireworks. Then we're introduced to our main cast. We're introduced to Julie James, Helen Shivers, Barry Cox, and Ray Mexican. And so
So this is the only movie where so moving forward, I'm not writing down names because you can remember names.
No. I remember I know you write down those names because I only remember because the killer had them, like Julie James.
I wrote down all the fuckers' names from Scream 3. I had to write down 2 of each. There was a Sydney and then there was a fucking Angelica or Angelina. It was 2 people playing the roles. No, you could do it.
You're good with that. Keep doing that.
No. You're an expert.
He wrote Julie's name on the note.
You knew their last names.
Because
I did not know their last names.
Because the characters say their last names. Like the police officer.
Okay, Travis Stark.
And so they're basically at the Croaker Queen pageant that their town has, because every town has some weird shit like that. And so Helen is the one who is going up for the Croaker Queen. She looks great. She looks amazing. It's Michelle Gellar. And so they're cheering her off in the balcony. I don't know why they're in the balcony.
And nobody else can sit there.
Right. And they're having this, I don't know. It was very weird. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm a prude. But there's my boyfriend sitting there talking about how my best friend's tits look. Bye. It just didn't, it wasn't giving.
I'm totally, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was like, what? Okay. But I mean, she shuts it down. She's like, okay, kill the commentary. But Helen kills it. That bullshit ass speech. Through art, I shall serve my country. Like, get on my face. I hate that.
How does that make sense? How's it? Are you? What?
She just Maybe because she knows how to work the crowd. I'm gonna give it up to she was the prettiest one. But anyway, she wins. And so they're celebrating, they're going around. I don't understand this part of the
They
movie.
go to the oyster shack. What the fuck is this?
And like her sister is a big fucking cunt. Like her sister is so mean to her for no reason throughout this movie. And I was like, is that just like sibling shit or
I feel like being the firstborn daughter is tough.
oh, you can relate? See, I always thought the firstborns were supposed to be the type A personalities who had their shit together. Why you're jealous of your little sister because she won Coca Queen? I don't understand. And so like she's just like, you know, you coming home with me? She like, no, tell mom I'll be home later. Then she's like, oh, you getting she getting your cherry pop? Like, girl. Then she's like, eat me. Like, who the fuck you talking to? Like, I don't like her. And so
sauteed or barbecue.
And so because I know that
I don't know why
movie,
that popped in my head.
Why did it? Like,
Adam's Family Values.
We won't stay fresh for very long, so eat us before we finish this song. And so they're all chilling. And then we get introduced to Max. And apparently Max and Julie are like friends, but it doesn't feel like that it seems like he's more her friend than his friend. You got to stop playing your role in people's lives bigger than it's supposed to be. Because I didn't like this part.
I didn't like Julie. Because, and let me tell you why. She's one of those people that's like, I'm so nice, I'm so innocent, but wait, I don't know how to tell you when I don't feel right, so I just look for other people to answer it for me. I didn't like her.
Yeah.
That's how she was acting. She could have told Max, Max, I'm here with my boyfriend.
We see each other.
Oh, we agree? Yeah.
Because I'm just like, for him, like the way he was coming off, he's like, you know, we're friends. Like, I want to, you know, he was just basically saying that he wanted to take her out last night out. She's about to move and go wherever because she's about to be a lawyer and, you know, go to college and shit. And she's just like, what? And then she looks at Helen
what?
And Helen like, bitch, I ain't
I've never talked to you before in my life.
Right. I was like, she probably
like writes some notes in school, but doesn't want anybody else to know type of thing, you know?
That pissed me off. I had a friendship like that. And that pisses me off.
I don't like that.
Because I had a friend who would not speak to me publicly, but would like text me privately. And I'm like, you're not that popular. Like, you're just light skinned. Calm down. And so it's just like, I didn't like that. I'm so glad I'm in the middle. I love being in the middle. Brown. And so peanut butter. And so Barry comes up and he's drunk as shit. He's the typical jock asshole type. And he drunk for like, how did he get drunk that quickly when they literally just left from there to go to the oyster shack?
Well, I mean, I think he was drinking at the pageant.
Touche. And so he sees Max, like he kind of gets in between Julie and Max, and then, you know, he interrupts them. He takes a shot.
He takes her fucking oyster shooter, so you know it's a shot with an oyster in it.
Yeah, and then he like just pushes Max for no reason. And
no,
then they go
absolutely no reason. I didn't like that.
And then they push each other and and then Ray breaks it up. Ray is the biggest pussy in this movie. I'm gonna start it right there. And so he's just like, you know, stop, you know, chill out, and that's it. And just Max is just left there. Look, and I would be like, oh, I wish it was a girl she did that too, so she could have whooped Julie's ass. Because I didn't like that whole exchange. Julie could have easily handled that way differently. Like, yeah, we go grab a drink. Like, I don't know. That was just fake. So they go to the beach. And they're sitting in the beach and a campfire. How they started the campfire, maybe because North Carolina people can do that. I still can't figure out how to do a campfire on a beach. And so
I think you have to have a permit, or you can only do it like in a trash can or something. I feel like at home you had to do it in a trash can or something.
Theirs looked very much so looked like a stage crew put it together. Because
theirs looked like Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, they had a big fire. They just sitting there. They're telling the urban legend, Tiffany.
Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. I call this story I Know What You Did Last Summer.
They tell the sawdo. And so they
shut up.
They telling the urban legend of the guy with the hook for the hand. And so this pisses me off because none of them know the real story. Ray is the only person who knows the actual story, the story that you can find in all the books and everything. They all talking about some drip. That's something. No, Ray's telling and they all talking about, no, you dumb, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's just stories just passed down and they change every time they go from one person to the next. That's pretty much all it
another
is.
Reason I don't like Julie, she one of them faux intellectual bitches talking about some. No, it was created to warn girls of the dangers of premarital sex. Could be true, but the actual version of the story is what Ray is talking about. Nobody dies, nothing,
Mm-hmm.
nobody gets gutted. It's literally just like there was a hook, and it's just supposed to be like, oh, that was the whole time. That's what we heard. Like, that's what it's supposed to be. So the fact that they were trying to make him seem dumb, I didn't like that. But clearly, Ray
Yeah.
is the poor one of the group. Just throwing that out there because that will matter in like 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's time to fuck because we on the beach. It's cold.
My name is Buck, and I came here to fuck.
That is so funny in the worst way, considering what he was doing. And so
They might as well have said that.
I literally, and
But
so
who wants to have sex on the beach?
I was gonna ask you that because you're more experienced than I. So I
Excuse
assume
you?
that you're older.
I am a lady.
You're older and you haven't had boyfriends and husbands and shit. So I just assume you've done all this.
Boyfriends
so,
and husbands. No, I've never. I would just think about all the sand, just jumping, swimming, and going to sit on the beach, and then swimming and coming home. You get in the shower. There's sand everywhere, all in your crack, and you didn't even do anything. So no, it seems just super, super uncomfortable.
So Helen and Barry are in love, and she plans hers. Did you hear everything she was saying with her future plans?
She wanted to go to guiding light while he's a quarterback.
Yeah, then he going to impregnate her after he goes to rehab. I was like, so he has a drinking problem? Like, it was just very like, I was like, oh my God, this story. And then
ridiculous.
Ray and Julie, they're like super in love, and she's just like, I don't want to leave you. You're gonna fall in love with some art student. And so they decide to have sex on the beach. It was just very, I don't know, character development. And so they all finish fucking sucking. And so they get in the car, and Barry at this point is drunk as shit. Like, he's the annoying drunk. I do not like people like this. You're not driving my car, you fucker, and all that kind of stuff. And
you're like, I'm gonna beat your ass at this point.
Exactly. So Helen coaxes him into the back seat. Him and Julie ride in the front seat. They don't just fuck, so they just all dreamy eyed and shit. And they're in love. And then Barry back there just acting like a complete asshole. Girls, the bad boy is not the guy. And so
he turns on the worst rock song in history.
So he turns on NSYNC, Bye Bye Bye. And so
I don't want to wait. That's what it should have been.
And so he gets out in the sunroof, and while they're driving down the road, Ray's not even driving fast. So I'm like, the sunroof, it just seemed like pointless. And so, of course, he drops the liquor bottle. He drops it on the liquor, spills everywhere. Everyone looks down. Then he's like, watch out. They hit somebody. Boom. Mm-hmm. They stop the car. He's like, the blood isn't mine. They get out the car.
Oh my God, we hit a boot.
I knew you were gonna... Where's the foot? And so
I don't know.
So they get out. Julie finds a bloody boot. And so she's like, they think it's a dog. And that's when it confirms, no, bitch, we hit a human. And so they like, oh, nah, fuck this shit. They should have just got back
here it goes.
They should just got back in the car, plausible deniability. And so because I thought we thought we hit a dog. Bye. Like, that's all. I'm not. If you want to get away with it, get away with that way. But they keep walking a little further. So I keep going a little further. And so they see the body, and he all bloodied and bruised. He tore the fuck up. And so
do they check his pulse?
This is what I was trying to tell you in the previous, not maybe it wasn't Urban Legends, but the one we did before. When we talk about pulses and shit, it was Scream 3. Because Ray goes and he like tries to check his pulse. He's a high school. What the fuck does he know about checking a pulse? They ain't got no CPR certifications.
So I will say it is kind of tough if you're not really experienced to find the pulse in the wrist. I always go for the neck. Always go for the neck because you can feel that one way more.
It seems like that's where he went, but I don't know, because he was just like, he's dead.
Maybe his heart was beating too fast. He couldn't even pay attention. I don't know.
Yeah, that kind of adrenaline. They're supposed
to be kids, even though they're like 27. We'll excuse it. Everybody except for Jennifer Love Hewitt looked old as hell in this movie.
I hate you. And so they're like, he's dead. What do we do? What do we do? So they're like, okay, we need to get rid of the body. And Julie is like the voice of reason. She's like, no, we need to call the police.
Call
like, you're not a doctor. Like, you don't even know if he's dead. He could just be knocked out, which realistically, unless he was just over 60, there's usually a window. Maybe. But I don't know. They were just like, he's dead because he was bloody.
So Barry is going. So I have to make this point. So Ray was like, I don't know what to do, and Barry's like, we just got to get rid of the body. Then Ray was like,
Mhm.
yeah, we can get rid of the body. And then, so Ray said, I don't know. Then, yeah, we
Yeah.
can. Helen said, we got to call the cops. We got to call the cops. 6 seconds later, yeah, we can throw this body in the fucking river. That's fine. That's fine. I'm like, how did that happen so fast? She switched her mind
I,
so fast.
because they were panicking and her boyfriend said so. She's a teenage girl and we have to keep this in mind. Just because even she was like, she was going very hard like Julie was. She was like, we can call the police, they'll believe us. There's liquor. Like they had points on both sides to where they were trying to debate on what was the best option. Julie's was obviously the best.
If nobody else was drinking, so say like Barry was the only one drinking, they
Mm-hmm.
should have just made Barry walk home. And then they could
Mm.
have said that the alcohol was in the car, but they hadn't drank it. Took a breathalyzer, nobody would have had the alcohol
Yeah.
on them. It'd be like, we accidentally spilt this in the car, or we got pissed at Ray because he was or we got pissed at Barry because he was drinking, and we kicked his ass out after he
That's a
had
good
spilt
one.
the liquor.
That's
After
a
he
good
spilled the
one.
liquor all in our car because none of them were drinking.
Right. They literally had it there. However, so Ray is like, it's manslaughter. We're all gonna fry no matter who takes the fall.
You're four white kids in North Carolina. Ain't shit gonna fucking happen to you.
They would have got. And so now I did speak with a lawyer about this, and the lawyer did say because they were all in a car and like with a death occurring, they may have been liable, or something like that. They wouldn't have all gotten charged. They wouldn't have all gone to jail, but there would have been just something. If the DA was just that kind of person. The girls would have
had probation.
Yeah.
Ray probably would have had 1 to 2 years, and Barry probably would have had 1 year.
Yeah. If not time served, depending on the trial and everything.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that they literally just hit him and he did not die, like, again, they should have just called the fucking police. Because what I would have done, this would have eliminated the movie. We would have hit him, called the police. He's in the hospital. I would have brought him flowers. I would have checked up on him every week. I would have visited him. We're so sorry. I would have, you know what I mean? I would have built a relationship with this man. We hit you. We did something bad, but I want you to know we're remorseful.
But no, baby, they doubled down.
Because the thing is, we're all rich. We got your hospital. My parents can cover your hospital expenses.
Except for
Ray. But still, like, they could have white kidded that very, very well. I would have, if I was a white man.
There was ways. Maybe, they could have been a little bit smarter. They would have called Barry could have called his dad, and it would have been over. One call. Literally. It would have been a wrap. But so Max, they're fighting over the body, what they're gonna do, and then Julie looks up and they see Max coming around the river bend. And the road reminds me of Highway 17 in California. So it's in like Northern California over by San Jose and Monterey. And when I tell you, it's like you're like going up a mountain. It's like, it is this. I was driving like this. I was so scared. It was like, do you think you're going to just topple off the mountain?
I know the wind be blowing. Ooh.
But anyway, so she sees Max coming and like, oh shit. So Ray and Barry take the dead guy's body and they put it over on the median. And when when Max pulls up, he's like, hey Julie, what's going on? And she's like, oh, Ray got sick. And Ray's like, not Ray, I'm sorry. Barry is yarfing over the side just to make, and I'm like, oh, this was actually good, to get them off their track because they know that he was drunk in any way.
Yeah.
So Max leaves. I'm still trying to, I'll get to it. Max leaves and then.
No, Max, see, and the thing about Max, this is the only critique about Max. He does this multiple times throughout the movie. You're not going to be, don't get slick. If you're not about, like, don't try me if you're not about that life. Because Ray come up and he's like, hey, Max, can I help you? And he like, you can take that fucking grin off your face. Like, sir, don't make me call Barry. Don't make me call Barry back over here.
But Barry's supposed to be drunk.
But my point is, bitch, you just got punked 5 minutes ago. Do not try to get smart with me like I won't call my friend over here who's gonna whip your ass. Don't do that. So yeah, Max drives off and whatever. Julie, fuck you for that. And so they decide they make it down to the pier. They bring the body, and so here comes Julie. Julie, at least check this
so shut up.
Well, shit, he might have some money.
I want his draws. I think that scary movie
so well. They
bit so much from this movie. This was like the main movie that they bit from.
Yes.
And Scream, of course. But oh my God. No, what I was about to say is they Barry says something along the lines of, "Oh, what do you think he's going to come back alive as a psycho killer with a hook hand?" He gave the killer the
Mhm.
idea of
Yeah.
the
Yeah, yeah,
persona, the killer
yeah.
persona, and I never noticed that when I first watched the
Mhm,
movie,
mhm.
because I was
I
like, "Why
recall.
did they do this? Is it just because?" But yeah, so he gave him the idea. But I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
Go ahead.
recall.
So,
Which also, because I mean, the whole time they're talking, they're telling their names. Like
oh my god,
that's how I was like, oh well, the information, because for some people they're like, well, how would he know? I'm like, the whole time they're talking, the bitch is conscious, so he hear
yeah,
them saying Julie, Ray, Bear, like they calling each other's names
my
constantly,
crown.
literally. So who was the Croaker Queen this year? Like, it
Hmm.
doesn't take much. And so Julie's like, we should see who it is. And so Ray says the line that Tiffany just said, he's the psycho killer, hook for a hand. So they're about to dump him in there, and Ray loses it. Like, he's just like, I don't know if I can do it. And so Julie's like, it's not too late, guys. We haven't done anything yet. And this is Barry. He's just like, shut the fuck up. No, we're gonna do it, motherfucker. Fuck you. And so he's just like so belligerent throughout this entire movie for no
Hmm.
reason, to be
Yeah.
so privileged. And so this is when Helen's like, look, shit, I'll do it. Like, fuck it. Yeah, y'all doing too much. Um, baby, she bent down, he grabbed her crown, and then they just kind of toss him over. I was like, what? Like, they could have kicked him. Like,
No, they could have easily. He's still half out of it. They could have got him to the hospital and lied to him about what happened. Be like,
like
everything.
what?
No, we hit you and then we picked you up immediately and took you to the hospital. You must have been
Yeah.
hallucinating, sir. Like, I watched this movie the other day. No, this TV show, and it was getting so good. Um, this woman, how they lately a trope that's been in movies when they get into a fight, somebody falls and hits their head on the back of like a table or
Oh
something and they die.
yes.
So this
Mm-hmm.
person did it. So this woman did that to a man, and she called her friend over to come help her clean up the crime scene or whatever. So the guy's over there and he's like, "Okay, we got to cut the body up." So as he's getting ready to cut him up, the guy wakes up. Do you know this motherfucker just finishes him off? He actually kills him
Okay.
at that point. And I'm like, why didn't you just let it go and just be like, "Hey," because the girl was in a hotel room with the guy. She could have been
Mm.
like, "Hey, I found you in the hotel room." The girl ran, but he ends up killing him. And I'm like, they
Mm.
just did the same thing here. Why are we doubling down? If he was alive, let him live.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
but they don't.
So he grabs her crown and he goes in the water. Now, this is where I was like, you've been a shitty boyfriend this whole movie, but now all of a sudden you're a good one. So he jumps into the water to get
No,
her crown for
he's
her.
trying to save his own ass because they know that they were together. If they find the body
Oh,
with the crown, they know that they did it. That's the
okay.
only reason
Well,
he jumps in
touche.
the water, to save his own
So,
ass.
so he gets the crown from him. That's when the guy opens his eyes. He's alive. And so,
Oh, I can only
and
imagine how that salt water would feel. Ew.
oh, I know. And
In your
so,
eyes? Mm-mm.
and so he gets the crown, he goes out, he screams, then he gets up, he hands Helen the crown, and then he just acts like that didn't happen. Like the bitch was still alive and I'm literally standing in the water. And so that's when he's
They
like, okay,
should
time.
have waited.
Oh yeah, to see when he comes out, because bitch, you can only hold your breath so
Hello.
long. And
Mm-hmm.
if he was that well enough, you just got hit by a car, but you managed to swim up and get yourself out of the water. That means this motherfucker was very well. Like he was. Come on now. And so
Nothing
that's
happened.
when
Nothing was hurt. Nothing. Nothing.
yeah, he probably had some scrapes and bruises.
He
And
probably got
so
hit. He probably got hit like how Barry got hit later on in
oh,
the movie.
because they hit each other. So maybe that was the clock. And then yeah. And then he was on the road, so maybe he tumbled and skid or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when it's time to make the pact. We take this to our grave. Agreed? Agreed. So everybody agrees except Julie. She hesitates. So then this is where I be talking about Ray. This
Yeah.
motherfucker, Barry grabs this girl by her neck, strangles her, and holds her on the car. What does her boyfriend do?
Let her go, Barry. Let her go, Barry. And I think this is why Julie ultimately broke up with Ray.
I would have, baby, if you don't drive up behind some shit like that, there's no fucking way. That's
I'm not friends with either of you.
The one thing these alpha males on these podcasts be talking about is, oh, men are supposed to protect and provide. You failed. Because there's no fucking way. There's no way you would have had your hands like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and so Barry lets her go, and Julie look at him like,
okay, Barry, we'll take it to the grave.
like, all right. A year goes
She's
by.
done with him.
Right. A year goes by.
This is me. I'm in. Tagged in. So we see Julie in college. Do you know where
She
Julie's in
looked.
college? Do you know what city and state her college is in?
I'm gonna say Cambridge. I don't even know where that is.
Cambridge is in Boston, or Cambridge is in Massachusetts, and she is in college in Massachusetts. So
Mm-hmm.
she's sitting there finishing up her last paper for some odd reason, but school is out. Her roommate Carla, I'm gonna assume this is Carla's
Fuck
character,
you.
a black
No.
girl with braids. It is Carla. Shut up. Carla comes in to she's like, "Hey girl, we're gonna get your pasty ass a tan." It's literally the same character. It's the same character, but they just didn't have Brandy at first. And so she's like, "Come on, girl, we're going home. We got summer school's out." Carla drops Julie off in front of her house in North Carolina. That is a 12-hour fucking drive. Am I to assume that Carla lived in Southport as well? Please.
I don't know because the reason I'll say no is because of if we're gonna do continuity wise, Carla made it seem like she didn't like Southport. Like I don't know, but it just didn't seem. Maybe she just was a good friend, but I don't
to
know.
drive somebody 12 hours? No.
Tiffany, you got this one. I have no defense just because
That was just, I couldn't believe that. I was sitting there like, I can understand her friend like maybe dropping her off at the airport. That would have been way more logical.
Yeah.
She dropped that bitch off in front of her house. So anyway, Julie come home looking like Casper, and
she looks terrible. I was like, what happened? Like, what happens to white girls when
they just made her look really, really pale. Really
yeah,
pale.
No, but what
She's
happened, girl?
tanned.
Like, because you're gonna have to
Depression.
help me. Depression. Girl, but yeah, she looked terrible. Even her bangs look a fucking mess.
Her mom's like, that's why I wear bangs today. Her mom is like, "Are you on drugs?" No, she said, "How's the snapper?" And Julie said, "Well, sorry, are you on drugs?"
Why did you say that? Are you on drugs, Casey?
Are you on drugs?
And so, yeah,
Casey?
Not only is she depressed, but she's failing. You know, she only has one shot. So I guess I don't know what the fucking that means, academic probation. But she's only been there a year, so it's like it's not how it works. You know,
unless she was on academic probation the first semester and the second.
Well, damn, girl.
Yeah, it only happened to me once. But
so
yeah, that was interesting. She said the report card got married to her house, mailed to her house. When did that happen?
Somebody about to get married.
But I didn't go to college in 19, so I don't know.
So yeah,
and then her mom's like, "Hey, you got a letter, no return address, but they put it in your mailbox." Bitch, I would have thrown that away. Now, honestly, I think the mom would have opened it.
Hello? Well, I don't know. We're black. I don't know if white parents do that. Because you can't get mail delivered to a black household and it not be open. It don't matter how old you are. Like it's illegal. And so she opens the note and it says, "I know what you did last summer." Ta-da! Title card.
How did the killer know she was coming home for summer break? What if she would have had summer courses? Please.
And she said no, because she said the summer semester went well. So what time is Julie coming home? Julie is home late because she's late. It's about to be July 4th. And it's only a few days.
Oh, so it must have been. So maybe there was 2 parts to summer semester.
Yeah, so maybe
summer semester is just May and June.
Yes, maybe she only took 1 class. I don't know. Damn it! I hate when I just realize shit. Because she was only back for a few days. Anyway. Maybe 2 days, and so
whatever.
Yeah. So she's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" So now it's time to go hunt people down, and so
she goes to Shivers General Store.
So she goes to look for Helen. And she meets up with Elsa, bitch ass. And so she's like, I need to talk to Helen. What's her New York number? She's like, she don't have no New York number. She's 10 feet to your left. And I was
in women's fragrances.
Like, and so Helen there, she still looks good, but she don't look as good.
Helen went to New York City for less than 12 months. Mm-hmm. Didn't make it and immediately came back home. How quick did she think that the shit was gonna happen? People stay in, trying to make it for years.
Did you not hear what the fuck she said? She said, "I want to go and art is going." She thought it was going to happen immediately. She thought she was going to get discovered and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, baby, you need to audition. I assumed she was going to go to an performing arts school like Tupac. I thought she, you got to do some plays, girl. Like, but
Juilliard.
But maybe, I don't know, maybe because the depression and the guilt got to them all. So maybe she was not nailing her auditions,
Yeah,
and
low performing.
so
Oh, careful.
yeah, she wasn't nailing her auditions, and so maybe they were like, "Bitch, get the fuck out of town." But yes,
Yeah.
Tiffany is right. It does take more than a fucking year to make it. So the fact that she
So,
gave up so quickly,
anyways, it would
and so
nowadays she could just start a YouTube channel and she would have been through the roof. TikTok looking like
hell,
that now
TikTok, hell,
could
yeah,
have been a wrap
TikTok.
with those
Just
extensions. That damn sure wasn't her fucking hair. You not gonna play me.
not going there with you. And so she's just like, Julie, oh my God. And so she's just happy to see her friend, but she's just like, bitch, I ain't here for no reconciling. I got on overalls. So I came with the shits. And so she shows us the letter and she's like, we were so careful. I'm like, bitch, let's not
No,
lie.
you weren't.
Let's
No, you
not
weren't.
fucking lie.
Right.
Talking about
No,
some
you
we were so
not.
careful. And so
No,
they're
you were
like,
not.
she's like, has Barry seen this? And so she's like, well, what happened to him? And she was like, we broke up, but he should be at home. They never really explained. I feel like Barry was doing good though. Wasn't he still playing football?
So Helen asked Julie, "Do you ever see him on campus?" And Julie's like, "Well, it is a big school, so they went to the same fucking school. Why she right back with Barry instead of Carla?"
Fuck you. I'm assuming she don't like him. And so, okay, so
Oh,
yeah, I
you're
forgot
right.
about that line. So yeah, her and Barry went to the same college. So Barry seemed to be doing perfectly fine.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Barry
but
probably was already home too, because like you said, she went to the summer semester.
mhm.
Yeah, so Barry,
But
Barry
yeah,
obviously
he ain't
is
got
an
no
ass
guilt.
still.
Yeah, he
No,
got no
he didn't
guilt.
give a
So
fuck.
and so they go and he's such an ass. So they go and they show him the letter and he's like, "Ooh, so scary. Fuck this. Y'all are dumb. Y'all look like shit." Like he was just. And so
And Helen looked no different.
right. I'm like, damn. And
He was
so
just being a jerk.
yeah, and they're trying to figure out who wrote it. And he was like, well, what about Max? Because he was there. And they were like, you think so? So they go to the fishing yard.
I mean, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, they go to the pier. And so, he's just like, y'all stay here. I'm gonna go handle this shit. So he walk up on Max like he trying to get a hand job. And so Max like, shit, I'm down for it. I've been liking you since high school. And so he's like, all right, well, I'll give you a reach around too. And so they go into the back so they can have a private conversation. And then Max is ambushed. And so Barry slams him on some ice. He threatens him. He takes a hook that he sees and he
goes
puts
from
it up
0 to 10 in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It happens so fast.
He threatens him. He's like, I'll fucking kill you and all this kind of shit and all this kind of stuff. And so he basically punks Max again. Again, this is where Max pisses me off once again. So Barry leaves. Barry is gone. He out the door. Then all of a sudden, don't you test me, motherfucker! I'll call the cops on your college quarterback ass. Bitch, why you ain't do that when he was holding you?
As he grabs a hook before he says that too. Because they're just hanging around.
I'm just like, Max, I really want to root for you, but you're going to have to start getting buck with these people when they're in your face because Barry is out the door. Who are you talking to?
Exactly.
And so
we're headed to go see Ray. We got to go.
Yeah. And no, Ray just happens to show the fuck up. Nobody cares. And so Ray's like, I handled it. No, Barry's like, I handled it. It's fine. I scared the shit out of him. Then here come Ray. Hey, you guys, I'm here. I'm working boats. And it's so funny. He tells them, his boat's over there. Julie and Helen turn around. Barry don't even turn around. He's just like, yeah, that's nice. Bye. And so, he tries to talk to Julie. Julie like, you ain't got the riz.
I don't even want to know you.
Yeah. But she says she don't blame him. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But I don't know. I would have folded. I'm sorry. Freddie Prinze Jr. looks good in this movie. He looks very good in this movie.
I have never been a fan of
his characters. Looks. Really?
Ryan Felipe looked miles better than Freddie Prinze Jr. in this movie.
Yeah, but he just...
Hell, Ben Willis looked better than Freddie Prinze Jr.
All right, that's enough. And so... Shout out to Muse Watson. And so...
Helen's daddy. Yeah. So this part, I don't understand. So Max is, working, minding his own damn business, and he starts getting stalked by the killer, and he ends up getting hooked through the neck. Why was Max killed? Hook. Why was Max killed?
So Ben Willis is one of those motherfuckers, them old school motherfuckers. I don't think he gives a damn if you had anything to do with it. I think he's just all about collateral damage. I think he needed Max for the body in the trunk, but I don't think there's any rhyme or reason. I think he's
don't give me.
I think I don't know. We'll get there. We're Tiffany. The whole Tiffany, we here. And so I don't think there's any rhyme or reason for his murders at this point. I think he's just a cold-blooded killer, and if he happens to come across you while he's on his, because he seems to like revenge plot ploys, and I feel like if you just in the way, you in the way, and you gonna get killed just because
But
I
he
saw your
wasn't
ass.
in the way.
He needed his hook,
Okay,
and so
whatever.
he needed his hook, and so he was like, and so yeah, so Max is just chilling, doing his job. He get hooked in his throat, pulled. He's so fucking violent. That's the one thing that these movies, like, he's very violent with that hook. And so Max is dead. He's dead as a doornail. And so Barry is going to work out at a gym where he's the only person who goes. And so he worked
Two
out.
people left before he got in there.
I don't like how they built Barry up to be this awesome fighter. He's super fit. He's
just
all
the quarterback. He's only the quarterback. They don't have to be that big and fit. They don't have to be big.
They built his but they built it not necessarily. He didn't have to be big, but they built his character up. The way he was up in there hitting that bag, I expected you to have better results throughout this whole movie.
I expected the bag to come back and hit him in the head.
This movie ruined everything. And so it's just like how they say, I don't know if you follow the James Bond movies, the 007 movies, but like the actors were like, Austin Powers killed the franchise because they couldn't be funny anymore. Like they had to be super serious going forward because then everybody would be like,
oh,
it reminds me of Austin Powers. Yeah, because they like, you know how they had like the sex pun names and everything? They couldn't do that anymore. You know, like Octopussy, they couldn't do that because Austin Powers took over.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so
why is this Barry? So Barry works out, which is fine. We all go to the gym. I love going to the gym. Do I take showers at the gym? No.
No, and he took a shower barefoot.
Caca boo boo. Like, only time I would take a shower at the gym, it was times where when I used to work on a military base. They had a free gym there. If I wanted to get my workout in the morning, I would do that, shower, and then I'm going to work right after. I'm not going home.
Right. And we have a gym on site at work that has showers, and the only reason I think that so I can see if you like wake up early, you show up to work, you get your workout in, you shower, and then you go over to work. That's where I can get it. Sir, you are rich. You don't need to do all this.
And you're going home. Honestly, I would have expected him to have every equipment that was in that gym at his house.
Yeah. Because that house was pretty big. They didn't give us that, but it was huge. So yeah, he gets out.
Sees a shadow. He sees a shadow.
And then he goes to his locker and he sees like a picture of his car, and it just like it says "I know" on the back. And then he goes walking around the gym, and he's just like, "Hello, hello, hello.
Who is it, you motherfucker? I'll get you."
And so then he comes back, and then he comes back, and his locker's open. And his jacket's gone. He's like, my fucking jacket. The obsession with this fucking jacket throughout this whole movie. He's like, my fucking jacket. And so he gets dressed and
no, I don't think there's an obsession. I'll tell you. We'll get to it in a sec.
Okay. Well, he goes. He asks the guy, anybody here? He like, no, just me and you. This pisses me off. I hate incompetent ass people. Somebody clearly had to walk past you, sir. There's a bell on the fucking door. Talking about ain't nobody here, and then there's somebody in my fucking car, so I know you lying. So Barry get out and somebody backing up in his car. Mind you, this reverse was magnificent. I love when people reverse perfectly like this. And so, you know, he's chasing down the car because he's a quarterback, so he has proof he can run. And so the car stops and he thinks it's Max. Then the lights come on. The car starts chasing him. There were multiple ways out of this, but he decides to run in a straight line.
Man, that car would have been in the middle of some boxes and some fucking fish flying on top of it. He's like zigzagging. So he zigs here, and there's like a whole bunch of boxes he can jump over, and then he zags this way, and there's more boxes, but he just keeps coming back to the middle of the road.
Yeah, he thinks he's on the field. And so I don't know. He just stops in the car. He thinks the car ain't gonna ram his ass. The car rams his ass. He ran him through a fucking sign and everything. Like maybe when I was younger, I thought, you know what? When I was younger, I was like, well, he didn't hit him that hard. No, he got fucked up. Like the fact that he was even moving after this is amazing. And so he's just like down at the bottom. Then the killer come out and he's just like, you know, he takes out in Tiffany's picture. He takes out the hook and he just shows him the hook and Barry crying and shit.
And you know, for a quarterback, well, probably like right after the holiday, they would have had to come back on campus because they start like this would have probably been his only break, and then he would have been back on campus like practicing. If he would have called his coach and told his coach he got fucked up, his coach would have been like, "Come back now."
Yeah,
he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have been there any longer.
Yeah, so he's in the hospital, and so they all go see him. it's weird how they all go see him, and the
Not his
absence of
family.
parents is.
Well, we did. We saw Julie. Well, we saw their parents, but they just didn't
We
really
did see
say
them, but their
anything.
absence, it's like they don't have any. Because I would expect his mom to be there at the very least. Maybe not the dad, but the mom at the very least to still be there. But it's just like the friends just show up, and then like they're just there, and it's okay. Like no, oh, this isn't visiting hours, nothing like that. But they all in there, and so he like I ain't see his face. He's still an asshole. Nothing has changed.
Hell,
And
he
so
probably
they're
still
just
thinks it's Max.
and so they're just reminiscing, and so Ray throws some jabs at him. I thought that was cool because he's like, we need to meet him up, have a little one-on-one. He's like, oh, like last night, and so that's when the girls start. They're just like, it was an accident, but maybe it's like a family friend or family member of the guy we hit, like and so because Julie's a bitch, she did research on the guy, so she's like, it's David Egan, and
Because she's a bitch. Stop. That doesn't make her a bitch. Golly.
She's just a bitch in general. And
so wait, so she finds out that the guy's name was David Egan, and the police said that his death was an accidental drowning.
Yes.
She didn't put together that the person they hit got hit. An accidental drowning, there would be no sign of force, no kind of bruising, none of that. This guy was fucked up. They would not have declared that an accidental drowning. That would have been declared like somebody beat him up and threw him in the water. They never put things together. And she's supposed to be smart. She went to Harvard or wherever the fuck she went.
She's supposed to be, but she's going to be a lawyer. Like she's supposed to be studying pre-law. So,
well, you still got to get through the basics first.
I know. That's why I'm like, baby. And so, so they decide that they're gonna go and do some research, find out, find the friend, find his family, and go visit them. That they're gonna do a sting operation. So her and Helen are gonna do that. I don't know what the fuck Ray's gonna do because Ray's like, hey, I want you to do. I don't think you guys should do this. I don't know.
Ray had to go back fishing, baby. They gotta have their produce ready.
She like, bitch, ain't no you and me. Get the fuck out my face. And it is around the time that he would have been collecting my fried oysters. And so they go
charbroiled. I don't eat fried food.
I don't. Oh, okay. And so they go and they fake like some car trouble. And this whole time, Helen talking to her on this drive, she's talking about all these kind of fucking scary movies and shit. Which Helen has some good points, but Julie has some good points too. Like if they wanted to kill us, they would have been killed us. But she, Helen's just scared. So they go and they meet Anne Heche. And so Anne Heche is like, what the fuck y'all doing here? What's up? And they just like, hey, we got some car trouble. We need to use your motherfucking phone. So they start interrogating her. I would have been suspicious immediately. You asked me too many goddamn questions.
The questions were terrible.
And so they like, hey, your name sounds familiar. Did you have a brother? Yeah. Okay, well, whatever, didn't he have a friend? My brother died. I don't know. I ain't know his friends. Well, what was his name? But just girl. And so they just going back and forth. Helen being so obvious, she's not on the phone with no goddamn body. She on the phone. I'm like, please stop fucking playing with me. So they start asking her more about her brother, and she's just like, and then she's telling them about her family. Her dad died, her mom, she had to be put in a home. She didn't take the brother's death very well. Then she tells them about the friend who came, Billy Blue. We were sweet on each other and all this kind of shit. I'm just like, girl, ain't nobody sweet on you because you look a goddamn mess. You look like you stink. You look like it stinks. You look like you ain't shaved. Girl, get the fuck out of my face. It seemed like they were making it seem like she was the killer. And so Julie freaks out and she leaves. And so she's just like, I just couldn't be in there. We killed the man and ruined the lives of everyone in his life, which I understand that part of the guilt because but they should have done that before they left for school and everything. But that I can understand why she felt that way. Of course, Missy come up and be like, bitch, your car don't look the way she hit that fucking window though, we would have had to get out and scrap a little bit.
We just needed a jump scare.
And I didn't like the way Julie drove off on her. But anyway, so Helen's just like, maybe, and this made sense to me. She was like, well, because Missy explains like his girlfriend died on that same road. So maybe he was on that road waiting for them to, like, maybe it was just, maybe he wanted to die, which that made more sense than anything. Like maybe he was just waiting in the road. Like, I know I killed my girlfriend. She died in the car with me. Let me just wait here till somebody come by. And you know what I mean? That made sense. Julie ain't trying to hear it. She like, bitch, fuck you. I don't like you no more. I was never your friend. And Helen's like, girl, I miss you. I want you back. Julie don't say shit. Like that. I'm telling you, this is why the fandom loves this movie so much. Cause it's just like, Julie, you fuck. Like that was so heartbreaking. She was like, I miss you. And she's just like, get out. And so Helen got the car. She go inside. Again, home life is weird over here at the Shivers because she says, hey, Dad. He don't even look at her. He don't say, hey, he don't look at her, nothing. He's literally watching fucking soccer or baseball. So I'm just like, what is happening? Like, why do they all hate Helen? And so she goes, she pours herself a Diet Coke. Here come the killer. He all up in her house. He going through her panties and everything. So she go upstairs. He hide in the closet. I don't know about you, Tiffany. I always go in the closet. There's always something in the closet.
I always leave my doors open at home. My doors are always open. So if you in the bitch, there's so much shit in my closet. If you in there, you can't hide. You just gonna be standing in the door.
Yeah, I was very, very caught off guard.
So she wakes up the next morning.
Wait, there's really nothing about her.
No, there is really nothing else to say about that. Just come on, let's keep it real. There's nothing else to say. She goes to sleep.
Okay, well, the point is she has to be at the Croker pageant because she has to ride in the parade. That's all. That's all I was gonna say.
She doesn't have to.
No, she does have to.
She doesn't have to, is what I'm saying.
It's tradition. There's nothing she can do.
But she does not. If all this serious shit was going on, fuck you. I'm going to do what I want to do to keep myself safe. She doesn't have to do it, but she wants to.
Touche. Best part of the movie. So she wakes up to her crown on her head, and she takes the crown off, and she notices bitch strands are on this crown. And so she looks, and she's like, "Oh, my fucking hair's cut off." And so she's freaking out. She sees a note on the mirror. It says soon. I don't know what came over Sarah Michelle Gellar in this moment, but she decides to smash that fucking mirror to bits. And I'm like, girl.
And we know like she smashes it. She hits it once, it's cracked. She hits it again, it's still cracked. She hits it again. We don't see no bandage, no nothing. Her hand would have been cut the fuck up. Let's keep it real. Her hand would have been cut up. And second of all, there has to be a study done on the obsession with women wanting or needing long hair. Because the thing is, if you can pull off a short haircut, that means you're beautiful. Because you got long hair, don't mean shit. If you bald and you still look good, you got it. We just try to hide it. But anyway, the killer really just pulled out her extensions because we know that wasn't her real hair. Let's keep it real.
I'm not keeping it shit. She looked good. And so, of course, Julie gets a call, and so we're led to believe it's telling her what happened. So Julie goes in, gets in her car. Tiffany is revving up, y'all, so get ready. I can see the smoke coming out your nose. And so Julie hops in her car, and she drives on over to Helen's. And so while she's driving over, she hears a noise. She looks behind her. There's nothing in the car. She's like, what the fuck? So she hears a noise again. So she's like, let me stop this car. Before I get to Helen's, I would have drove all the way there. That's just me. Because clearly there's nothing wrong with the car. So I would have just
drove over there. And there's nothing in the back seat.
Right. So I would have drove over there and then checked. But she pulls over to the side of the road, opens the trunk. Max is covered in fucking blue crabs. Like they coming out his mouth, it's just her trunk is full of crabs with Max's dead body, and Max is wearing Barry's jacket on his dead body. She freaks out, understandably, but she closes the trunk and she runs to Helen's house.
Why?
Why didn't you run to Helen's house like in the beginning if you could just run over there? She comes back. Oh, I know Tiffany's ready. She comes back. Barry, and because Barry was already over there. Like why was they all cuddled up when they don't fuck with each other?
Because Helen called them both when she woke up with her fucking haircut.
I understand, but I don't date you no more.
Yeah, so they were starting to get sweet on each other that fast. Yeah.
And so they all go back. The gang goes back. And so, she makes Barry open the car. He opens the car. There's nothing there. I call bullshit as somebody who's from the coast of Mississippi. Bitch, there's no way that you had crabs in that fucking car and you didn't at least smell some shit. There's no fucking way. Seafood is the worst smelling food in the world. It's very distinct. You can put a crab anywhere in the worst. Oh, what? Touche. But my point is, you can put a crab. I can put a crab on my arm. I'm gonna smell that crab all day long if I do not shower. The fact that they opened it and there was nothing there, and they acting like she's crazy, like they don't. All you had to do was
Yeah,
And
it
you would
was
have smelled that crap.
so. It was so. This was the first far-fetched scene. Like it would have just been smart to just have his body in there, nothing else,
Yeah.
just his body in the trunk. Because did he pull out a carpet cleaner and clean it off, and then it was able to dry it that fast? There's no way, unless Julie always walk around smelling like crabs.
That's what I'm just like, that was, come on now. Cause but then again, maybe Helen lives 10 miles away and she just ran there and they walked back. So maybe
But they don't believe it, and she's like, he was there with your jacket. Where's
yeah.
your jacket, Barry?
That's why I'm
And
like, this
Barry's like,
jacket
oh shit,
obsession.
I don't have him. No, it's
Like,
because he never told anybody that his jacket was stolen. So she knew she wasn't
mm,
tripping. She knew and
okay.
then he didn't have anything to say after she said, "Where's your jacket?" How the fuck would I know about your jacket? How would I
Mm,
know if this didn't really happen?
okay, yeah.
Maybe they just didn't believe the crabs part. I don't know. And then we
Yeah,
have the he's just
that was
waiting for us and watching. He's just watching us and waiting. What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for? What am I waiting for? What am I waiting for? Fuck you.
so yeah, Sarah, I mean
I
not Sarah Michelle
snorted.
Gellar, but Jennifer Love Hewitt got her moment because baby, I mean, child, but she had good points. She's just like, they can't go to the police now. Well, technically they could,
They always could have gone to the police because they didn't
but
even
I
need to
think
mention what happened. They could have just said what was going on now.
right. I guess maybe the police would have asked, well, I guess they don't have any proof outside of one letter. What happened to Helen? I don't know. Because it's just, I mean, because with the way police work, it's like, where's the evidence? Like, how do you
Right,
know
because they
she,
don't know that Max is dead at this. Well, they do
yeah,
know that Max is dead, but they could have said a file of missing persons on Max at
yeah.
least.
And then, your sister could have cut your hair. They would have,
Your daddy could have cut it.
uh,
Yeah, they would have. They wouldn't have believed
yeah,
it. So
because
yeah.
he's
So
stalking them. Maybe they
mhm.
didn't have anything, but I would
so
have
at
at least let it put it on the radar. I don't know.
at this point, they head over to Ray's house. Ray comes outside. Hey guys, where you been? And Barry's like,
He
you. I mean, he just knocks Ray the fuck. You know what you? I don't know what he says. He's like, you think you're funny,
he
huh?
said, "You're gonna die." That's what he
Oh,
said. He said, "You're gonna die." And so he just
you want to die tonight, Ray?
and so
He's like, what are you talking about? I got a letter, but he didn't show them.
don't play in my face. He didn't show them shit. Like the red
Julie's the
herring was
only one that got a letter. So here's my thing: the killer had different signatures for everybody. Julie got a letter. Ray got a
Mhm.
photo. Helen got a hair cut off and a mirror message. Ray, you got a letter too?
I don't know. They never explain it. He never shows it because I'm like, the only thing I can think of is maybe he sent him a letter to make him the red herring of the group because it does work in his favor later on in the movie that they think that Ray is the one. So maybe that. But then again, does he want them to know that it's some? I don't understand his like. I don't get his motive because it's like, do you want them to think that it's someone else or do you want them to know that it's you? Because the whole sending, I know what you, I know.
Yeah, I don't
Because
know.
Ray, of
So
course, Ray knows. You know what I mean? That wouldn't make sense for his I know motive. So
right. Yeah. So how did they come up with the so Julie kind of mentions
they
that David Egan
yeah.
graduated in
So they go back to
92.
Helen's house.
Yeah.
And so they're basically going through the yearbook and they're trying to see who Billy Blue is at this point. They say that name and Ray's like, oh shit. And so they're like, they want to take the yearbook and show it to Missy. And so they're basically like, we lied to Missy, so Billy Blue could have lied to him as well. So if we go with the yearbook, she can identify who the guy was because he may have used a fake name. And
Right.
so that's when Ray's like, I'm not going over there. We need to just leave town.
I mean,
And so
that's what I would have said. But
that's what
we
you
knew
would
he
have
was
said. But
guilty.
Julie, this is where I'm on Julie's ass because she had a good point. Because she's like, I've already left. Like I left, I went to college and I want my life back. Like, we've already done this. Now we need to solve who's doing this. And so he's like, no, y'all are acting like vigilantes. And Barry's like, I'm gonna beat his ass. And so she's like, okay, Helen, you gotta go to the parade in case he shows up. Barry, you protect her. And so
Ray go to hell.
Ray go to hell. And so she's like, I'm gonna go to Missy's, see if she can identify the guy. So they have their plan. They're gonna split up. We're gonna split up and look for clues.
1, 2, 3, break.
How ironic, right? And so yeah.
She makes it out to
Missy. I understand the plan, but
when that happened, she shouldn't have went to that parade. They should have holed up at the house, or they all should have went to Missy's.
Mm-hmm.
All
Maybe
four.
I'm thinking I'm thinking they didn't have time because Helen had to get her hair together. She had to get her dress. I'm sure she had to show up early for the parade because they're just set on going to
Okay,
this parade.
well, whatever. So they go to the fucking stupid ass parade. My God, let's just get that out of here. They're at the parade.
They're at the parade. Barry and Helen, they're falling in love again. They're looking for the guy. Helen sees the guy. Like, there are so many people in Slickers because it's a fucking fish town.
One more thing.
And
It's July in North Carolina. It's hot as fuck. Barry has on a sweater. Who the fuck would wear entire Slicker outfits in public?
Maybe they're about to go on the boat. Like you said, it is the season, so maybe they're about to go on the boat. I don't know.
But with the hat too?
Come
on now.
Multiple people in Slickers and hats. Helen thinks she sees him, so she's like, Barry's over there. So he chases him down, tackles him. It's an old guy. I'm like, nobody going. And there were people around. I didn't realize.
I mean, hell, the killer was an old guy.
My point is, there were people around when he tackled this old man, and ain't nobody do nothing about it.
Oh yeah,
I didn't notice that before, but there was like a guy walking right in front of him when he tackled him. I'm like, y'all not gonna stop this young boy from tackling this old white man? Baby, I guess the rich can do what they want.
I always have an idea. If a killer is chasing me, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna check myself in the fucking hospital.
That didn't work out in Scream 5, baby. Remember when Jenna was in the hospital the whole time?
No, I'm saying if somebody is chasing me, I'm going to the hospital. Because only reason why I say that, because there's always somebody there, like in the ER, there's always somebody waiting, patients. Somebody's going to see what happens. You go to the police station, it's only going to be like one cop at the front waiting on you. And they're going to kill him real fast. I'm going to the ER, baby. We both going to be in this motherfucking waiting room.
I hate you so much. Not the way.
I got insurance. Do you?
Blue Cross Blue Shield. Glory to God. And so, so yeah, so there. That's
saying
Oh yeah, I did do that. And so
Julie is headed over to Missy's house.
Julie headed over to Missy's house. She makes it there. Here come Anne H with a fucking knife. Girl, what are you like? Why
are you doing here? But you know what? She had every right to be suspicious because, bitch, you said your car was broken down and it started immediately. You ain't had no smoke or nothing.
But to come
Triple
at me
A
with
takes
a knife,
at least an hour.
To come at me with a knife, girl, calm down. But anyway, so they go and she chopping up fish. And
you know she would have had a shotgun.
Come on, let's talk about it.
Really?
And so she cutting up fish and shit, which damn, I kind of did want, because I know she's about to fry that up. I know Tiffany. She was about to fry that up real good. It was about 6 or 7 of them.
You know it wasn't gonna be good. It wasn't gonna be good.
It wasn't. She wasn't gonna season it. And but man, them fish was big. And so, you know, she's just basically trying to tell her, like, hey, can you look at this yearbook? And she's like, okay, cut the shit. What is this about? So she tries to let her know, like, okay, I know your brother and I understand how he died. And so Missy's like, yeah, I know he didn't die by suicide. I mean, I know he didn't die. He wasn't murdered. Yeah, he wasn't murdered. And so she shows her a suicide note, or what she thinks is a suicide note, because she was like, I had to hide it because the insurance wouldn't give me the money. I know that's right, bitch. And so it just says, I'll never forget last summer. And so Julie looks at it and she's like, this is not a suicide note, it's a death threat. And so she's like, you know, we hit your brother, which Julie, turn it on.
Education.
Because if you see,
well, Missy, yeah, you're right. Missy thinks that he killed himself. You're right.
Yeah, but Julie to talk about, oh, this is a death threat. Why would he write a death threat before he got hit to go up to the beach and then you hit him and that's how he died? Julie,
it would have been easier if she would like, I recognize this handwriting. It's Comic Sans MS.
That made me so mad because I'm like, the mental gymnastics that she, like, because she's still sitting up there trying to tell Missy, no, we hit him, baby. We hit him. You know, this was, you know, we hit him. We're sorry it was an accident. No, girl, the guy was murdered. It was a death threat. You said it out your mouth. Why would he write a note? Why would he write a death threat and leave it at his house to go and get hit by you in a car?
She's dumb.
That pissed me off so bad. Girl.
She should have got stabbed.
So that's when she comes to the realization. She's like, oh, it wasn't your brother. You think? Girl. So yeah, Anne H tells her to get out of her house, even though she's not in her house. And so Julie go and she hopped back in her car and so she headed back to town. At the parade, Helen look up. She see the killer. He got that hook. He like, bitch, you thought it was me, but it ain't me. But now it's me.
Now go on over to the pageant, bitch.
And literally, she goes right over to the bench. And so she's telling Barry, I thought it was a big, huge hook, which if we know his weapon of choice, we ain't gonna go get no gun. What are the gun laws in North Carolina?
Probably very lenient. But let's start with this fact. You're supposed to be watching Helen like a hawk. Why the fuck would Barry go back up to that balcony to watch her on that stage? That doesn't make sense. Barry would have been right on the side of the stage or in the front row. He wouldn't have been that far away from her. So Helen's up at the on the stage for some. Why is she on the stage during the pageant?
Because they had to. Their big thing is honoring the one before them. So that's why she was on stage, because they introduces her. He's like the former Croaker Queen, Helen. Then they do the talent thing.
So my favorite girl comes up. Baby, look at me and tell me what you see. You
that was a 32-year-old
best woman. Of me yet. I wrote 40.
That woman was 40 at best. Do not fuck around.
Hold on, now I'm 40.
That's not the point.
But I'm not trying out for no damn pageant where 19-year-old was the reigning queen.
Exactly. So that was my point. I'm like, I know they don't. Is she supposed to be like high school too? And so
maybe she was just the entertainment. Maybe she was like Miss Croker.
He said the talent. No, that was the talent part of the show. No, we're not.
I tried.
You know what she should have did? She should have got up there and been like, "Look out, Greg! Look behind you! It's him! It's the killer!"
I will do a monologue.
And so, even Helen is like, "Jesus, girl, please." And so she's looking up at Barry in the Raptors or whatever. And so that's when she sees Ben come up, grab him. Well, this man hit him with a 1-2 punch. He hit him with a 1-2 punch. He on the ground. I'm like, not the fighter, not the one who was at the gym kicking and punching. And he was at the gym acting like he was Ryu. He was Ryu at the gym.
No, he was Balrog again. Where are the weapons? Why do we not have anything?
Because he said he was going to pound his ass.
Okay.
Whatever. So he hit Barry one time with his hook. Barry don't get up. Barry's done for. He don't get up at all. He don't try to. He's a quarterback.
Well, you got to think. He just got beat the fuck down just the day prior. He probably didn't have it in him.
Tiffany, he just tackled an old man.
He's dead. And that probably hurt him even more.
So yeah, he hooked him up. He hooked him to death. Barry don't move. He don't struggle. Easiest kill I've ever seen in a movie.
And why is everybody holding Helen back?
Girl. So
Helen's sees screaming.
Yes, and she's trying to go up there. They like holding her like, I'm like, what the fuck? Who are you people?
What?
Like they're literally holding her back and she's like screaming his name. Like it was so, like I would have been so frustrated.
I was so uncomfortable. I was frustrated watching it. Are you kidding? She should have punched somebody in the damn face.
Literally, like, can you imagine? No, like seriously, let's just put it like, imagine your boyfriend.
I can't
imagine your boyfriend is being actively murdered and you're trying to go and save him. And people are like, no, wait, hold on. What's going on? What do you do?
But they're not looking at what I'm looking at. All they have to do is turn around.
No.
And see what's going on.
They're literally just, that pissed me
off. So he did. Barry is dead. They go up there. She goes up there with the police. People like, we don't see anything. They look around for 10 seconds. They pull up one raft. We don't see anything.
Not even that.
Why didn't turn the lights on?
It pissed me.
It's dark as fuck.
It pissed me off that she was like Barry. He was like, Barry who? Don't act like y'all don't know. He's literally the star quarterback of that fucking town.
Yeah, they would have still known him.
Y'all know. It was been a year. Don't act like y'all don't.
Yeah, that was
especially ridiculous. In a small town, Tiffany. Y'all know that boy. Talking about Barry who? Y'all know Barry Cox. Don't play him.
I agree.
And so he's gonna take her home. It was sad when she had to get the crown back. But yeah, the cop's gonna take her home. And see, he's like, your parents are worried about you. We don't see parents.
Why weren't they at they should have been at the pageant?
I didn't understand. I don't understand her family dynamic because it seems like her dad don't like her, her mom never around, and her sister don't like her. Do with that what you will.
All those things could be true.
So Julie's
so time out. So the first part that I absolutely hate, we already talked about it. That was what was the part that I got really mad about?
It was
the blue crabs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This part right here. This part right here. This part right here.
Why'd you say that? Now I want gumbo.
Is the reason why I do not like this movie.
Okay, so the cat. In the meantime, Julie is making it home and she's doing research on who else could have been the killer. She's at her house on the computer, but it's dial up, so it takes a while. And so Helen is on her way back home with the cop, and he's just not believing anything she's saying. And so she's telling him about her hair. Like, this is when Helen is spilling the beans to the cops, like she's been wanting to do. And so he's just like, did he use that hook to cut up all your hair? And so she cussing him out all kinds of ways. She's like, you gonna fry in hell, bitch, because this some bullshit. So on their way there, they see a roadblock. And so the cop turns around and they go through the alleyway. As a police officer, would you not know the roadblocks that are happening in your town?
You should.
Would you not realize that this was somebody
you
just
should.
put up? Okay. All right. So they go down the alleyway, and then he sees a guy working on his car. So he's like, let me help this fella. And
that wouldn't happen.
And so, because it's not like
roll down the window.
Right. Because my thing is, unless it's obstructing traffic, police don't just stop unless you flag them down.
The car isn't on fire.
So it's just a guy, for all you know, he's doing his oil change. You know what I mean? Like, he just has his hood up. So he gets out of the car. He walks up to him.
So before you get you get there, if a cop is taking me home and I'm not being arrested, I'm not getting in the back seat. I am only getting in the front seat. If you don't allow me to get in the front seat, as you're doing a favor of taking me home, I'm getting in a fucking taxi, because we all know that basically the child locks are on in the back seat. You cannot get out, and then there's a gate or like type of fencing in the front.
Unless you're Sidney Prescott, you ain't getting out. And so
I'm not. Well, they got in a car. That's the only reason why. But I'm not getting in the back of a police car if I'm not being arrested.
So he walk up to him. Helen realizes it's the killer, and she's like, behind you, behind you. He turns around, hearing her screams.
Who fixes their car with a slicker?
He hooks him in the stomach and kills the cop instantly. So Helen, freaking out, Helen should have been the final girl. She busts out the window of the car with her heels. She get out the car, she start running. And mind you, I felt like she would have been cut the fuck up. Just because, damn, girl, she's like, because she leans over, like, I just felt like she would have been cut the fuck up. She started running though in heels, and so she run all the way to town. He walking. I don't know how the fuck he keep it up with her. And so she runs to Shiver's hardware store, where her sister is. This sealed the deal for me with her sister. If I'm banging on the door, telling you to hurry up and open the fucking door, and you walking.
The killer was right behind Helen. When the sister was walking up to the door, she would have saw him.
Yes. But by the time Helen comes in, she don't see the killer. Because we clearly, I mean, look, let's just talk about what really happens here. He's walking up, she goes inside, he walks to the other entrance, like the back entrance that she clearly says is unlocked.
But the lights were off, the door was closed. Why was the back door unlocked? Has she just taken the trash out?
She's bad at her job.
Okay, continue.
And so Helen's like, lock the other door, and I gotta call the police. And she's still trying to be like a smart ass. Helen like, all right, bitch, cut the shit. It's the end of the movie. We ain't got time for them smart goddamn jokes and games. Cause all that, like, don't do all that. We not doing all that. It's not like, do what the fuck I say do, ho. That's what she should have said. And so yeah. Helen goes and calls the police. Elsa goes to lock the door. You clearly see somebody that already walked in the door. She locking the door. Here come the killer. Slash her across the goddamn throat. Helen hears her sister scream. I don't understand what happened I don't know if the phone line got cut, because she stopped, like, she just ends the phone call. And I didn't understand why. I know the power goes out eventually, but
that doesn't have anything to do with a landline. Unless she was on a cordless.
No, she was on a landline. That's why I'm like, why did she stop the call? She doesn't ever get through to the police.
But you know what I mean.
She didn't get through to the police.
Okay.
So I didn't understand why she put the phone fucking down. And she goes looking for Elsa, and baby, the power go out. I don't care what Tiffany says, people love this moment in the movie. And it's still kind of, I got to remember it's about to happen, because the killer is under, like, there are mannequins under the plastic coverings, and the killer's under
this part was good.
Yeah, and she turned around. The part
in the alley.
She turned around, and she's just like, don't fuck with me. Like, is that you? It's like, I feel like she should have said, is that you? Like, that would have made it hilarious to me.
We have got to start grabbing weapons. Like, I want a smart horror movie. Like, you don't
You
have to
mean
be
like
Jet Li, but you need to be smart.
you mean like damn it, what's the movie that when we just watched where the girl, it was a time travel movie and the mom was beating the fuck out of the killer and she had like weapons under the, she had like a gun under the table and she had like crowbars and baseball bats. Damn it.
We
Damn.
watch this?
Yeah, you watched it too. It was the one where she went back in time. Like she went back in time, like her mom died and she went back in time to figure out who the killer was.
Oh, totally killer.
Yes. That like that. That's what you want. You want somebody who's ready for the killer. Like, I got a gun
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
here,
yeah.
here.
She was
That's
pulling
yeah.
Laurie Strode.
Yes. So yeah. He tackles her. She finally get out them goddamn heels, and she go running. She sees her sister's dead. Nobody cares. Fuck you, Elsa. And so she. This was now this part. She get on the elevate
Pulley.
the pulley, and I'm like, ma'am. When he starts walking up the stairs, that was the really shit I'd ever seen. Girl, what are you doing? You wasting all this energy. So she get out the window, and falls into the trash. There are so many moments where I would have just stayed somewhere because there are so many places to hide in this alleyway, but she just running. She sees the fireworks. She hears the parade. She goes running down the alley. She's almost there. She stops, turns around. Tiffany.
And then when she turns back to the parade, the killer's in front of her. Bitch, how? Yes, I'm angry that she stopped because if somebody's chasing you, you run full force, especially if you see somebody in front of you. Nobody's going to slow down. They're going to run full force to get that help.
Mm-hmm.
But how did the killer get in front of her? That's what I want to know. Please.
I don't know, because the way she was moving around the alley, there were so many twists and turns. There were even like trailers, there were tires, like there were. I would have just hid. You know what I'm saying? I would have just hid. He's not gonna search for you forever, so I would have just hid because there were so the idea that he was just waiting in that alleyway behind the tires to come, like that he knew that she was gonna be there.
I would have just preferred that he killed her in the store.
Yeah.
Because I'm not lying. This is what makes me hate this movie. This scene right
makes
here.
a lot of people.
It is so incredibly stupid.
She really
because she was
been
doing everything right.
She should have been the final girl.
This could have been a 2 final girl movie.
Yeah, because even when he's trying to kill her, like when he throws her into the tires, baby,
she's
the move is right there. She was like, "You ain't about to hook," like you know what I mean? Like her instincts are like she's a fighter. So like it took him a while to kill her. I don't know how
because she stopped. She deserved to die in my book. Moving on.
Next. Okay, so yeah, Helen is dead as a doornail. Julie is done with her research. She reads an article that she could have read a year ago that tells them that David Egan, about his girlfriend and her dying, and his girlfriend Susie was survived by her father, Ben Willis, a local fisherman. So that's when she puts 2 and 2 together. And I'm just like, you didn't research this before? You didn't look at this article? You didn't think? Okay.
So she headed off to tell Ray because in her
she goes to look for Helen.
I was about to say in her heart of hearts she knew Helen was already dead.
Look, she goes to look for Helen, but the Kroger pageant's over. Like, bitch, where have you been?
So maybe she just assumes Helen's at home at this point with Barry.
Yeah. So yeah, and then Ray is closer at this point because he's next to the pier, and so she goes to tell Ray what's going on, and so that's when she spills the beans to him, and she's like, da da da. What if this guy killed David? We killed him. Da da da. But what if he didn't die? So Ray is again acting suspicious as fuck. What? This is crazy. Really?
Julie.
Like, why do I have to get on this boat with you, bro? What is the point of her getting on a boat? We need to leave.
I mean, I guess if you're on a boat and you're nowhere close to the shore, nobody can kill you.
But that we need to go to the police. Like, yeah. So anyway,
why the fuck did Ray go with Helen and Barry at least?
He said he wasn't doing that. He said they were some fucking vigilantes, and he wasn't gonna be a part of all that. He wanted to leave town. And so
Julie sees that Ray's boat is named Billy Blue.
And so she freaks out. She's like, "You're the one who went to see the Missy. You're the fisherman."
It was you.
But I'm like, you just found out who it was. See, this is where I'm like, so you gonna suspect everybody? So she go running.
She thought that Ray and the killer were together.
Oh, so she goes and the entrance that she came from is now locked. Ray didn't lock the entrance. You know he didn't lock the entrance because you just saw him
Baby,
there.
you know the killer's coming, baby. Come on, baby.
So she go running away from him and she's screaming for help. Ray get clotheslined by some strange man that you've never seen before at all. And he tells her to get on his boat. How she knew which boat was his, I don't know.
First he said, easy, child.
He's Southern. He's from the South.
I'd be like, excuse me, sir? She should have known he was the killer right then and there.
And so
nobody talk like that.
She run right on the boat, and she immediately sees a hat, which I didn't understand why she thought that was suspicious. But she literally goes into his bedroom and it's a bunch of clippings of them. Like, and he has clippings from that day. Did you catch that? He got clippings of Helen, like pictures of Helen at the parade. So that means that means he went snap. Hey, develop this film for me.
Let me. Weren't they Polaroids? They were Polaroids. Weren't they?
So, yes, but he still had to go.
No, not a Polaroid camera.
Oh, well, no, the picture of Helen was huge, though.
Oh, I don't know.
So he got clippings. He got, like, Barry's football stats. He got, like, them going to the car that he took the body out of. Like, he just is very convenient.
Why didn't he just hurry up and kill Ray? Because Ray was still in town. He didn't have to wait till next year to kill Ray. Everybody else left.
Well, I'm assuming his ritual is that he wanted to kill them on July 4th, just the same way as he killed David on July 4th because of his daughter. I think that's his ritual. Like, he has to wait a year.
So
and
whatever.
Stalk
Julie
them.
is walking so slow, and then of course here he comes. Hey,
what you doing? Basically, he's just like, you should be running people over, getting away with murder. And so she's like, you're Ben Willis, and he's like, yeah, bitch, you're about to die. And so she go running through the ship, and I'm like, this is his boat, ma'am. You don't think he know every...
I had to turn the volume down because every 18 seconds she was shrieking.
And then she was shrieking over shit that... I was like, why are you shrieking when you see Ray?
I got it. Hold on. So all the doors are locked. It was a door with a glass window in the middle of the door. Mm-hmm. Bitch, I'm breaking that glass. I'm out of here. Anyway, so she's running. Ben Willis knows the whole boat, and the chase ensues. She gets to
the boat's moving at this point. Yeah.
He started moving it as soon as he got on. Yeah. As soon as he got on the boat, he started moving. They left Ray over on the pier. I don't know why he didn't kill Ray. He had time to kill Ray. Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, though, maybe because Ray is just gonna be there anyway. I mean, he's an easy kill, and he's stupid. Like, Ray is the dumbest one in the group. So,
I feel like he was gonna do other things to Julie.
Ew.
I'm glad we didn't get to see.
And so, she going all through the boat. She find this ice thing, and so she needs to make it to where he can't get in. So she starts trying to block the door with ice. Basically, that's when she find Helen's body. Helen's body pop up so damn quick. Barry's body, which Helen's body was a little too frozen for her to just have died literally 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And she finds Barry's body, and so she's screaming, she's crying, all that kind of stuff. And she's moving up, and so Ray.
Wait. Oh yeah, Ray ships out on his little sailboat.
Yeah,
and he makes it out to her, and he jumps on the boat.
Did you see how he rested first?
Hey, you got to get it together. You need your stamina.
I mean, no, understood. But he
when
sat down.
When I tell you what I thought about at this part, you're gonna die. So Julie is down in the little ice chest. So of course Ben knows a different way to get in there. Mm-hmm. So he opens up the hatch, and Julie's right under him, and he's standing over her, and she screams. And I was like, why would Julie be scared of Ernest P. Worrell? Why was he dressed just like fucking Ernest? Please go look at pictures of Ernest. He had on jeans and a khaki hat. What was he doing?
I don't know. Booger lips. I hate you so much. R.I.P. to the great one. Oh my God.
I had to go look it up because I was
he had the hat on and everything.
So why does he look like Ernest? Except Ernest wore he had a denim shirt on, but Ernest had a denim vest on. Mm-hmm. They could have made him a little more scary than why didn't he have the slick? Well, I guess he didn't need to wear the slicker outfit because they knew who he was. But when he pulled that open and she screamed, I was like, Ernest!
Damn, Miak. Man.
Not milk, Miak.
Damn, man. Ernest says Christmas. Damn. And so
Ray's on board now. Ray's
Ray's
there.
on board now, and so him and Ben get to fighting, and they're fighting. Julie is still working her way around. Julie is actually distracting Ray during this entire fight. Why she called his name? Go ahead. Because
Ray
he called his
pushes.
name.
No, he pushes that mechanical hook first before anything happens, and it busts Ben like right in the middle of his face. He would have been out for hours. Hours. But he's up in 8 seconds.
Yes, and then like him and Ray are fighting. She sees them fighting, and she says, "Ray!" So he, of course, he instinctively looks. Pop! You in the water now. Why the fuck?
Ray,
that
run faster.
Okay. No.
What was she doing? She should have been behind Ben Willis, busting him in the back of his head, kicking him in the kneecap or something.
No help. There are weapons on this boat. She was no help. They don't even pick up any weapons. Like, well, Ray does pick up one weapon, but he can't fight. So yeah, I just don't understand why they
she could have took her shirt, like the overshirt she had, wrapped around his eyes, something, pulled him by the neck, kicked him. I'm telling you, somebody kicked you in the back of your knee. You out of here.
You could have pulled a Gabrielle Union from Cradle to the Grave and just swung it at him. Like, just do something. Like, I just don't understand. They did, like, she didn't help at all. So anyway, Ray get back on the boat. He hit him with the thing, like, and so he just knocks the fuck out of Ray. Like, that hook is beating Ray's ass. And so he runs up on Julie, and he's about, she's like, this is when she finally apologizes. She's like, "I'm sorry, it was an accident." And he's like, "Fuck you, girl. It's over with." And so he reaches up with the hook.
He said,
"I know all about accidents.
Somebody for dead. Make sure they're dead." I'm like, okay.
Okay. And then he reaches up with the hook. It gets caught in the net. And so Ray pulls a lever, and then it like pulls his hand up. His hand gets cut off, and then
I don't know anything about fishing boats.
Yeah, and then his hand gets cut off. He gets strung up by his leg, and he gets thrown into the water. And what do? They leave him for dead, even though he just told them, if you think somebody's dead, make sure they're really dead. They just leave him in the water.
But I mean, I don't know how they could have found him. It was dark and the waves were rustling. There was no way to find him. I mean, they dropped him off in the beginning right by the pier.
Yeah.
He could have easily, as soon as he came up, he would have saw the pier. In the middle of the ocean, it's a different kind of story. So I could understand why they would assume he was dead at this point, because the waves were rocking too. It wasn't like a calm night.
Yeah.
Anyway,
police show up. They're, they don't tell the police the truth, which is a problem in the second movie. They just say the man was
after him.
Yeah, but
it makes sense because they had all the pictures and stuff up, so they were able to say, this is what was happening. We had me
personally, I would have told the full story, just personally, because there's y'all. I mean, what are they gonna do? True. Charge y'all for hitting him and the killer? Like, you know what I mean? There's just I just don't believe they would have gotten charged for that. So I would have told
somebody would have known that he was still alive.
Yeah,
in the town.
So they're just like, no, we don't know, whatever. But Ray does explain that the reason he went to see Missy was because of the guilt, and he had to know. And it's just kind of sucks that they were guilty for a whole year and they didn't kill the guy. But yeah, and so
what the fuck are you talking about? They knew he wasn't dead.
Maybe they assumed he died after they left him in the water.
How? Girl, bye.
So they were just sad for no reason. Anywho,
a year later. We're done.
Yeah. I mean, does this part even matter? Because the second movie is found out it's a dream anyway. Julie at college. Ray's supposed to be in New York. She talking to him about how they about to fuck in 2 weeks. She sees a letter that's left for her. It says, I still know. And then the killers come out the mirror. But again, from the second movie, she explains that's a dream that she has.
Yeah.
So yeah, the movie's over. It had to be
4. 4 out of 10 for me. It would have been a 6, but that
Tiffany
part,
up.
I just
lock her up.
I cannot. You do not play. You think I'm stupid, and I refuse. I don't like when a character is really smart and then just really, really dumb. Mm-hmm. Continue to make her smart, but she just couldn't get the upper hand on the killer. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that so much more. Yeah.
You would like the Nancy Drew series that's on Max, because those characters are consistently smart. They don't ever do dumb shit. So yeah, I think you would really like it. But yeah, like, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I love this movie. It has a lot of scary aspects to it. I like the idea of them being stalked for a year. I like the ritual of, okay, they did this to me on this date, so I'm gonna kill them on this date. even though he just kills random people also, which he does some more in the sequel. But yeah, I like it. I'm invested in the lore, so yeah, I'm giving it a 9. There was one black person, so yeah, I like it. It's one of my faves.
One unnamed black person. They didn't even give her a name.
Like you said, it's Carla. And
I know it's Carla. So why the fuck will her roommate be a black girl with braids? Telling her to get her pasty white ass out of here. And that she needs to get laid big time. And what the hell was Ray doing in New York?
I don't know, because I don't know, but
in the second one, he
was supposed to be a journalist. Remember, that's why she was like he was gonna date when she was like they're gonna break up and he's gonna date like an art major. I think he was supposed to be like a journalist or something artsy. He was supposed to go to New York.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was the plan in the beginning. Like when they were talking about like how she, we're gonna leave each other. That was the thing in the beginning.
Okay, well this has gone on an hour and 29 minutes, way too long. 29 minutes, way too long. I like to try to keep them under an hour unless it's a good movie, and this was not a good movie. So please be sure to join us next week when we review the sequel to this one. We're not going to make you wait 4 or 5 weeks, 2 months after. So we will be reviewing I Still Know What You Did Last Summer with our special guest, our favorite guest, Jay.
Yes, Jay, come on back in the room. And so, yeah.
I hope his internet is better this time.
So yeah, we're gonna take it easy on you, Jay. I'm gonna take it easy on you, Jay. And so yeah, I look forward to this because if I were to say this was my favorite, no, the second one is my absolute favorite of the franchise. So Brandy kills it.
You're gonna give this a 10 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. So just spoiler alert, don't even ask.
I should have gave Leprechaun a 10 just to piss you off.
You gave it too high. Anywho. Help. Goodbye, guys.
Where did you hide it, Dan?